Hello everybody, it is time for Off the Ledge. It's Friday the 13th of June. And it's my bird clock in the background. Friday, the number 13 is actually symbolizes a divine feminine. And the number 13 was turned into a number that's associated with bad luck due to the patriarchy. If you want to read more about that, you can just start researching, start Googling it. Anyway, so it's a good day. I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way, but I feel like I'm crashing from that full moon. It just feels like it just felt so powerful. Last night we did a guided meditation. I want to urge you all to do that guided meditation. You don't have to listen to the first part of the video. It's only half an hour. The first 15 minutes we just kind of settle in, we chat. So if you don't have a half an hour, just cue it up to 15 minutes in and do the guided meditation. Last night kind of focused on our military and having them just feel motivated and inspired to defend this nation against fascism, against the enemy within, which is not us. So, also, if you have a lull in your day, if you have an energy slump in your day, it's a perfect thing to do. So, we're humans, and biologically, physiologically, we always have a slump in our day that's kind of lower energy. If you have a meditation practice like I do, it's really helpful to just kind of keep going. So you can use that meditation as a way to sort of recharge your battery and also help our country from the etheric spiritual level at the same time. It's like two bonuses in one. All right, let's take a look at what Ernest Holmes has to say for June 13th. And please join us tonight for our live stream, Psychic News Network, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have a lot of fun. We have a great community here. And I don't have a lot of views. I have a lot of subscribers, but not a lot of views because I'm shadow banned by YouTube. I wear it as a badge of honor. We recognize our identity with spirit. This is from Ernest Holmes. Our knowledge that the great I Am is ever available gives us an increasing capacity to draw upon it and to become inwardly aware of the presence of spirit. Through the quiet contemplation of the omni-action of spirit, we learn to look quietly and calmly upon every false condition, seeing through it to the other side of the invisible reality that molds conditions and recreates all of our affairs after a more nearly divine pattern. With a penetrating spiritual vision, we can dissipate the obstruction, remove the obstacle, dissolve the wrong condition. Standing still, we can watch the sure salvation of the law, the divine law. We now claim health instead of sickness, wealth instead of poverty, happiness instead of misery. In such degree as we gain mastery over the sense of negation, whether it be pain or poverty, we are proving the law of good. Every thought of fear or limitation is removed from our consciousness. We know that our word transmutes every energy into constructive action, producing health, harmony, happiness, and success. We know there is something at the center of our being that is absolutely certain of itself. It has complete assurance, and it gives us complete assurance that all is well. We maintain our position as divine being here and now, and so it is. I feel inspired today to tell and to remind us all that it's human nature for most normal humans, when we see suffering and we see something that distresses us, and especially if we see suffering, to feel like we have some kind of a duty to suffer with the other person or the other situation. And we're compassionate beings, and we're empathetic and compassionate beings, and so it's normal, obviously, to feel like I feel that suffering too, right? But I just want to remind us that we don't really benefit that situation by bringing our own energy down to that level. So we know there's a lot of suffering. We know that the United States of America is going through something that's really difficult and transformative. I feel like we're in a defining moment where we define the reinforcement, what it looks like to reinforce our democracy. And even though we can look at this 250th year anniversary of the founding of our nation this year and next, because it kind of started in 1775. And in 1776, we founded this nation. Our forefathers founded this nation on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, if we really want to make a difference, it's imperative that we think about what's not kosher, what's not good, what's really unsettling as not permanent, as part of the transition. I hope that makes sense. Because we can look at where we are in two different ways. We can look at it as, oh no, catastrophe, disaster. Yeah, it does look like that. I would like to see us all use it as a motivation. Think about all those who have gone before us that have given life and limb for our freedom and our nation that was founded on the overthrow of a tyrant. So let's use it as a vitamin to bring us up, to bring us into we are America and we define America. Good, sane, progressive, compassionate people. We get better and better. We don't get worse and worse. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the people that are saying we're under fascism. There are hints of fascism. They're testing fascism. Donald Trump is working off Putin's playbook. Putin taught him, as much as a useful idiot can be taught, but taught the rest of the MAGAs too in our Congress what the autocracy playbook is. He handed it over. And that's what's going on in this nation. And so it's up to us, and we can view it as a privilege that we were here to be on the right side of history to save our democracy, not to cower in fear and cowardice. So let's listen to Kathy Beale for today. And over the weekend, look forward to a couple of videos. I'll pre-record them. I want to show you what's on the boulevard here as a sort of a precursor to the reenactment of the Battle of Bunker Hill here in Gloucester, Mass. That's happening on the 21st. Also, before I read you or show you what Kathy has to say for today, the prayer of protection, keeping in mind are the protesters that are on the streets, might be you too. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Let's hear Kathy's astrology forecast for Friday the 13th.
This is Kathy Beale of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for June 13th, 2025. Are we there yet? Not quite. Everyone's feeling rumblings, the sense of something really big about to break in your own life as well as in the collective. This is a day for keeping on those big kid pants, addressing what you can, and looking at your life in terms of what gets you heading in the direction that you want. Overthinking is not the way to do it. big elements of trust, acting on intuition, acting with empathy and compassion, and maybe getting out of yourself and doing something for somebody else. That is a great path to healing. That's all for now.
That aligns with what I was saying. I like it. Thank you, Kathy. To book a session with Kathy, if you want your astrology chart read by a professional astrologer, she and I collectively have over 60 years of experience in the business. Myself as a psychic and Kathy as an astrologer. EmpowermentUnlimited.net. All right. And on YouTube, she's at Professional Aquarian and has more extensive forecasts there. Let's pull 3 cards and see what we get for today. Once again, please plan to join us tonight for the Psychic News Network. Also, members, I posted the second day of how to use the pendulum. When you become a member, just click on the join button or a button that says perks. I don't know. It's different on different devices. And you will have access, if you choose to subscribe, to become a member, which means you pay like a subscription monthly. You have access to all of my presentations and classes. So for today, yes, America is feeling afraid, and sad. And this card came up the other day. The antidote to that is playfulness. Playfulness. That's what I was saying earlier. I know it's human nature to misery loves company, to get sucked into the sadness and the feelings of tragedy. Just don't stay there, because it doesn't help the collective energy. As much as it's tempting to stay in that negative space. We're in sorrow over our politics, but let's use this time to come together. Let's use this time to reinforce what America is all about. America is a young democracy. It's a young country, an old democracy, but a young country. And there's so many beautiful possibilities ahead. We're in a really challenging time, but we will knock it out. We will knock out fascism. We will. We are. We can't take our eye off the ball. These people are weak. And like I was saying yesterday during my PNN pop-up, what we basically have is squatters in the White House. They don't belong there. They're not democratic. They do not belong there. They violated their oath of office over and over and over again. They work for Putin. It's all coming out. All right, I'll come back with a pop-up later today, too. Just a short vid. All right, namaste. Thumbs up, please. See you soon.